right, I'm getting ready to do my homework. This is Jeannie from A1 Vacuum and Sewing, and I am going to stitch out Snowbird. And it looks like Snowbird is, here's my handy dandy spreadsheet. You can find these on our website, a1vacandsew.net, under sew-alongs and classes, I think. So, at least sew-alongs, it'll be there. So Snowbird is going to be 4x6, so I can put that in a 5x7. So let me grab my 5x7 hoop, which happens to be on my machine. I just finished stitching this out, so I'm going to pop these off. These are just like leftover scrappy scraps that I found. I'll just have to press that out. What we did today is we stitched out the house, Winter House. Look how awesome that stitching looks. Winter House, this, and we stitched out Tundra Rose, gorgeous. And I think this is, what is this? Is this Tree 3? Something like that. So we got 4 done in our sew along, which isn't bad. We only have 3 left. So let me grab my fabric. Uh-oh, that's obviously not it because that doesn't fit. Whoops. What's this? Oh, here we go. Perfect. So let's go ahead and pull this back here. We're hooped and looks gorgeous, and now I'm going to take this and go put this on the machine and we'll get stitching. Okay, here we are. This last design I think was in the 5x7, so we should be safe to slide this on. We also have to watch out if it's like a big design, then it's just going to ask us to take this hoop off again. So I'm going to come over here. We'll go ahead and say okay, and looks like we want to load Winter 8. What is Winter 8? Winter 8 is the big snowflakes. So that's the design we're going to load. So let's go home. That'll clear our screen. Go embroidery. Design database transfer. Winter 8, the big snowflakes. Where are they? This one. And 4x6. So that should be it. Go ahead and set it. We're going to add. Let's go ahead and add. We want to add the Snowbird, this one right here. Go ahead and set that. It's just going to be centered. It says right here, centered. And then it also says that here on our spreadsheet, centered. So we're good to go. I'm just going to go ahead and touch embroidery. And guess what? I would normally scoot this up because it'll save me a whole half an inch, maybe an inch. But since this is the last little bit of fabric that I have, we're just going to go ahead and just stitch it in the center. I have marlin in there. Let's just go ahead and stitch it out. Let me grab my spray tent and my fabric. Snowbud, snowbud, snowy bud. And my applique fabric, there should be a wing. There should be a tail feathers and the bird itself. And I turned off my clover iron. Let me turn that back on because it takes a minute for that to heat up. And there's my handy dandy spray tent. Let's go ahead and put, whoops, camera is falling. Camera is falling. You know what? I was sitting there going, what should I do next? And I want to get my multi-needle going. So I am actually going to, I'm going to start Happy Thanksgiving wall hanging. Yes, I am. I'm just doing a recorded video to walk you through that. But that'll probably take like an hour of stitching on the 10 needle. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and lay this down first. Bumpy side down, smoother side up. If there's anything icky on top, get it off because this is a light color and you don't want the ick to shadow through. This is also directional, so make sure you put it down nice and straight. Feel around here before you press it down. That feels good. It's a little more fabric on the top than the bottom, but that's okay. Now we're going to skip some steps. So we're going to say okay to get out of this. And I never went to my favorite screen, which is this one right here. And that's where you can go forward and backward stitches. That's going to be the tack down for the batting. We don't need that because we cut it to size. That's the tack down in the trim. Cutting it to size saves you time. That's the placement stitch for the background fabric, and that is the tack down for the background fabric. I love that I have marlin in here because it's nice and dark, and I'm just going to go ahead and do the tack down for the background fabric. And I like a color that's high contrast from your fabric, your background fabric. That way you can fussy cut. You're going to use that. That's going to help your eye. I don't know about you, but I just don't see as well as I used to. My mom was right. Reading in the dark was bad. And now we're going to do the quilting stitch. So I'm going to go ahead and take out my marlin. Take it out. And I'm going to grab my fancy thread here. I know it's gotten dark. Started stitching this morning. We had such a great sew-along. Sew-alongs are normally great. I had that one bad one. You know what is a bad sew-along? One that I'm frazzled. So if I'm having trouble with equipment. And then one where I make a lot of mistakes. I mean, and you got to keep in mind when I do these projects with you, most of the time, it's the first time I'm stitching it because I just don't have time to do it over and over again. Okay, didn't thread. That's okay. Just go ahead and do it again. Threaded that time. Let's grab that back loop. Now we're going to go ahead and do the quilting, which are going to be large snowflakes. I'm going to baby that thread on the top, make sure it doesn't get tight. We need better light over here. Let me get some better light. Patrick and I are going out for dinner with his mom tonight. So I was like, how much time do I have? I've got like an hour and a half. So I was like, okay, I'm going to keep stitching. This is a 3-minute stitch out. Guess what? I am done with this pouch. It's always a good feeling pulling off the painter's tape. Me going, okay, done. One step closer to being done. And this is a quick one. It's 14 minutes altogether, 8,900 stitches. So this one shouldn't take us too long. I think the polar bear is probably going to take us a while, as well as the skates. Done with that pouch too. All right. Okay, I'm going to take out that quilting thread. Take that out. And let's look at our instructions. Now that we're done with the quilting, says after quilting, go to the embroidery instructions right here. That's linen, stitch the bird placement line. So I'm going to go ahead and put linen in now. Should be L for linen. L for linen. M-A for marlin. L-I for linen. Don't you think? That's just my 2 cents. Okay, here's the placement line for the bird. The bird is the word. Guess what? I'm back to my old shenanigans. So instead of sliding off the hole tube, I'm going to just bring it forward a little bit. I'm going to take my skinny mat, which are the ones that go to the snap hoop. I'm going to put this on top. And then this is my warning. That tells me I got to remove my mat. I know Cindy Lehman said something about stitching something out that I can throw on top. I think that was a great idea. I'm going to have to create something super cute that says, pull out your hoop. Because my noggin works so poorly these days. Doesn't remember anything. This is my clover iron with the bigger spade. There's like a small spade that comes with it. And then there's this spade that you can get. If you buy the set, there's a set where all the attachments come with it. And then you can buy just the other spade where that doesn't come with it. Oh, did you see that? I got rid of the tool and then I was going to get ready to just start stitching because you know what happens is I start talking. That's the problem. Okay. If you did not cut it to size, you're going to do this step, which is going to be the tack down and trim. If you've cut it to size like I did, then you're going to skip that. We're going to do the next step. This step here is going to be the wing. So here's my wingy wing. It should be Ica, Ice Castle. Gonna pull it a little forward. Gonna take my little mat, slide it under. Gonna take my wing, put it down just like that. Okay. And perfect. I'm gonna slide my mat out. Slide my hoop all the way back on. The next step is going to be the tack down and trim. So if you didn't do scan and cut or you already cut it, you're going to do the tack down. You're going to do this trim. If you've done that, you're going to skip this step. And now we're going to do the tail feathers. Okay, here are the tail feathers. I haven't even been looking at my instructions. Let me see. It did ask for a different color for the tail feathers. It's asked for aquamarine, but it's okay. I'm just going to leave it with the linen. You would have been able to see it with the aquamarine a little bit better. That's the only advantage. One more tail feather. Just pay attention to where they're being stitched. Oh, there's 4 tail feathers. I thought there were only 3. It's like, what's going on here? There's 4. I'm going to slide this forward. I'm going to take my mat, put it under, make sure it's under where that's going to go. I'm going to put something on here to remind me. Uh-oh. I only have 3 tail feathers. Eek! Okay, let me look Let me look. Did I drop it on the ground? No. Let me look back in the pouches that I... Okay, that's okay. Sometimes things go missing. I'm looking in all my pouches to see if maybe I left something in there. And if not, guess what? I have a little bit of extra fabric. Good thing I didn't sew it all down, right? I know, it'll probably turn up at some point. I'll be like, there's my missing tail feather. I don't see it on the ground, though. So, I'm going to come over here. This will be a combination of pre-cut tail feathers and traditional applique. What's that? Nope, that is... Those are... I'm looking... Oh! My Kimberbell snips! I guess they are here. On the floor. Okay. All right. We're just going to make this happen somehow. I'm sure it's like stuck. It's probably like stuck to the batting or something. So let's go ahead. Let me see if I can get this down. Maybe these are all the same size. This one looks big. This one over here looks big. Nope. Yep. So I'm missing this little one right here. So I'm going to put these down first, though. I'm going to do one at a time. Okay, big one. Biggie smalls. And then this one. Okay, so we got to see where it's going to be trimming. Okay. Missing this one right here. Tape and mat. So, as far as the tack down goes, looks like it's going up here first. How can I tell? Because I'm looking at the screen and I'm looking for the green crosshair right there. So what we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead and fast forward with this. I'll just do plus 10, plus 10. So now I can still see he's over here. Let's go plus 100. Plus 100. Now I'm over here. Plus 100. I'm on that one. Let's just go plus 10s. So it looks like I'm over here on that one now. So, yes it is. Let me go ahead and grab my fabric. I'm going to give it a little spritz of spray. Here's my big old piece of fabric. There's no SF101 on it, but it is dark, so I think it'll just stay down. And I better put in the aquamarine. So let's put in my aquamarine. We're going to have to trim this last one. Sorry, filming arm. My filming arm is in the way, and I work around it, but every once in a while, I hit it. This is what you do if you lose a piece. And it seems like every once in a while, I seem to lose something. Okay, here we go. Tack down for the last tail feather, I think. All right, let's go ahead and trim. Okay, not a big deal. Sometimes things like that happen. Next step, it wants to do the decorative stitching around all of the tail feathers. So I'm just going to say start and let it go. This is going to be just a minute of stitching. But while it's doing this stitching, I am going to work on getting another project going. So this stitch, I call it the Kimberbell stitch. You need to make sure you're trimmed really close or else those threads will peek out from underneath. And then we're going to stitch the beak bill in the same color, and then we're going to switch to linen. I think from here on out, it's just going to be stitching. Looks pretty cute. Okay, just hit start. It's going to do the beak. And then I'm going to stick around because then we're going to put in linen. We are halfway through our stitch out. This is 7 out of 14 minutes. Where do I see all this information? This page. If you go to this page, it's going to tell you how many stitches, how many total, what we're on, what step we're on out of total stitches, steps, and then, sorry, I hit the screen so it stopped. And then how many minutes out of total minutes. Then you can see right here, this is 7, or that's 1 minute with this teal green. You have a progress bar too. So there's lots and lots of information on that screen. Okay, I'm going to take out my aquamarine and we're going to put our linen in. Linen's going to be the next 2 steps. Feel free to use pearl if you want to, if you want it to be a little bit darker, a little bit creamier. So this is going to just do a little bit of decorative stitching in the tail feathers. All right, just go ahead and hit start again. It's going to use the same linen, and now it's going to be stitching out. What's it stitching out? So we just did that decorative stitch in the tail feathers. Now it's going to stitch out these little flowery things or leaves. What is it called? Foliage detail in step number 10. And then we're going to switch to light blue, pale mist, and hickory. This is just another minute of stitching. Where's my like blue? I think I dropped it. Yes, agree. Where are you, light blue? All right. Give me a sec. Oh, there it is. I see it. We're here on the other table. So we're going to put that in next. Azure. Azure. This is going to stitch the bird satin outline. This will take a hot minute. I'm like printing out my instructions for Happy Thanksgiving. Three minutes. Just let it go. All right. What's next? After you do that, we're going to put in the pale mist. It's going to go around the wing. And then we're almost done. What time is it? Do I have time? Can we do another one? Maybe we could do the ice skates. I feel like the other one's going to take us a long time. And then wouldn't it be nice if I could at least sew this together? I don't know if I'm going to be able to piece the back and layer it and all of that. But we can get close. Okay, here's the outline of the wing. Ice skate. 2 minutes of stitching. I was trying to just create more of a book that I'm stitching out from, but Poppy had other plans. She's very good at, so we're going to do hickory for the eye. You want to come up here too? She likes to jump in between, come on, me and whatever I'm doing. She's very good at it. So if I'm on my computer, she likes to jump in between that. If I'm sewing, she likes to jump in between me and the sewing machine. Hi, Momo. Here we go. They're my babies, though, so. This is the eye. The eye of the tiger. Okay, here we go. And guess what? This block is done, just like that. Why don't we go ahead and we're going to hoop up for the skate block. I think the polar bear is going to take us the longest. So we are done with that embroidery, and let me look at my printout over here. I don't even know where the pages are. I'm going to just find it because that's what we do. Skates. Okay, skates are, looks like on page 26. I don't know where my sheet is. So it is, this design goes into a 4x6. So it's going to go into, so we can do this in the 5x7 as well. Let me just check. All right, just finished this. Now we're going to do the skate. Patrick says I have an hour. So first step is finding an appropriate piece of muslin that's going to fit into this hoop. Hang on. That's little, too big. What's this? Don't even know what that is. Big. What's this? Too little. It's not going to reach the sides. Close. Oh, perfect. We'll use that piece. I'm really like, when I was looking for, yesterday I was looking for, what was I looking for? I was looking for my wallflower blocks. I was missing like a third of them and started to panic. So I started tearing my sewing room apart, getting somewhat organized. Like now I have all my muslin all together. Hopefully that's going to help. And then, what was I going to say? So, I don't even know what I was going to say, but these are all leftover pieces. So I'm going to use them all. And now they're all in one spot. They were literally, I have no idea why, I had them all over my room, like just everywhere. It was just mayhem. So I feel much better now that I've kind of got it organized. All right. This is going to be the next stitch out. I'm going to go ahead and slide it on my machine. We just did this. Let's go ahead. Let's get our, let's get the bag with the fabric. Okay, here's my ice skate bag and here's my fabric. Feet or skates are already cut. Let me go ahead and look at the instructions. So right here, it says for the ice skates, we want to do geometric 13, 4x6 vertical. So let's go ahead. Keep in mind, a lot of the designs come in a vertical and a horizontal. So you just want to make sure it makes sense for your pattern and your orientation of your fabric. So I'm going to go here to the pocket. I'm going to go here. That's where I go for design database transfer. And it's geometric. This is geometric right here. I think it's probably, I don't think it's that one. I think it's this one. Let's look. You can always look at your book. Here we go. So do you see how it's, they're tall and skinny? But really, it's going to look like that. So they're short and fat. But this is how you load it. So it is going to be this one right here. So go ahead and choose that. Set. If you haven't already done so, choose your 5x7 hoop, go to your settings button. It's either going to be a piece of notebook paper with a dog ear, or it's going to be that little cogwheel. I have 5x7 already selected. And then we're going to go ahead and add, and we're adding the ice skates. That's if you send it via design database transfer. There's my ice skates right here. Set. And it says it's centered. After quilting, go to the embroidery instructions. Okay, so we should be good to go. I'm just going to go embroidery. I'm not going to move it at all because I'm using that leftover piece of muslin. And I do want to go to this button right here where I can go forward and backward stitches. And we're going to start off with the placement stitch for the batting. Let's go ahead and slide our hoop on. I have hickory in there. Hickory should be fine. This is just going to be for the placement stitch. You are not going to see it. So I'm just going to go ahead and hit start. And while it does that, I'm going to grab my spray tent and my spray. Where's my fabric? I'm going to give these both a shot of spray. So for your batting, spray the bumpier side. And then for your fabric, make sure there's nothing like this, like a dark thread, because that's going to shadow through. This is a light color. If it's dark color, I don't really care. Whatever, who cares what's on there? But if it's a light color, oh, that was, I don't know. Somebody ran into the door, though. Okay. So lay that down right in the square. And then when you lay this down, be mindful that this is directional and try to make it so it's not askew. Feel for the batting underneath first and then go ahead and press it down. I sprayed mine so it's not going to budge. And I don't do a ton of spray. You don't have to get spray happy. We're going to skip this step. So this is the tack down for the batting. If you cut your batting to size, you're going to skip this step. If you didn't, you are going to do this step and then you're going to trim. Cutting it to size saves time. That's the placement for the background. We already laid ours down, so I'm going to skip that. I am going to do this step. This is going to be the hickory thread. However, I'm going to put something lighter in, just in case. I just don't want it to be shadowing through too much. I'll do this blue. I know I always say contrast, but I'll see this blue on this white and blue striped fabric. Sometimes I have the toughest time putting the spool pin in the spool in the top. Hi, Momo. Hi. Okay, let's go ahead. Let's do our tack down. There you go. Okay, make sure, I call this tickling the fabric, which is just kind of making sure it's nice and taut. It's going to do that geometric quilting stitch, so I'm going to take this out, the azure, and I'm going to put in my Ganold color 6053. It's their glitter thread. But it's also sold under the name of Hollow Shimmer. And they sell them in little spools. And I did order some. But I think I'm going to need more. And it's been stitching great. Haven't had any issues. I am using an 8012 Microtex needle. I think it did recommend a 9014 needle. And I don't even know if it said what type of 9014. But 8012's been working pretty perfectly. So we're going to do the quilting stitch and then we'll get into the embroidery. You're going to need aquamarine. This is a quick one, 15 minutes. 15 minutes of stitching. There will be some applique. I'm going to take that thread out. Winding it up. And now you need to put in, now it says to go to the embroidery instructions after you do the quilting. Hi. Yes. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and put in my aquamarine. Okay, placement stitch. Go ahead and just hit start. Giving Momo kisses. Yes. I'm giving Momo kisses. Okay, I'm somewhat sandwiched in here, so I am going to go ahead and getting kisses right now. I'm going to pull this back a little bit. Let me move this over here to the side. I'm going to pop my ironing mat and my little thing of tape, which reminds me that, oh, okay, I have a battle royale here. Hang on a second. I had to trick them. Well, I just told them to go to their daddy and Patrick will give them a treat. Okay. Mat is on here. Do never iron if you don't have something underneath. Last thing you want to do is melt the bed of your machine, although I think we could fix it. We could order you a new one. Okay, then we're going to do this one. Oh, doggy here. Yes. Oh, he's over a little bit too far. All right. Spool off. Mat out. I know. I'm like a new person. Okay, I'm not doing the tack down, but if you haven't cut it size, do tack down and trim. And then that is going to be the beautiful decorative stitch. I'm going to slide this back on. Mat has been removed. Go ahead and hit start. Make sure you have aquamarine in. And then after you stitch this, so what I just did was I did the placement stitch. I put my pieces down. You might have to do the tack down and trim. And then right now we're doing the satin outline of the skates. Hello! Did you see that? Trim close. Stitch the satin outline. Okay, we're good. We're going to stitch the satin outline and then we're going to put the vinyl down, covering the skates and tape in place. Okay. No biggie. So we want to do the satin outline. Then we're going to put the vinyl down. Let's see if it's a special vinyl. Is it special? Or is it just vinyl? It is so not special. It's just a piece of vinyl. Guess what? I bought this fantastic, amazing vinyl. I'm going to go get it. Okay, how cool is this? It's like this holographic vinyl. I'm gonna use this because that's the type of person I am. I'm like a risk taker. I just like to do wild and crazy stuff. And it really just adds a little bit of shimmer and shine. I'll add an affiliate link so you guys can order this if you want. Oh my God, it's so cool. It's too cool for school. I got it to put in the OESD gingerbread bridges. But then their stuff was like so different. So then I know how you guys like it to match. So I was like, okay, maybe I won't use this. And then I used it. It was amazing. It's my new, like, favorite vinyl. Okay, and after we do the satin stitch, then we're going to just do a tack down line. We're just leaving the aquamarine in to put the vinyl down, and then we're going to put in hickory for the sleeves. And then we're done. The next step says to stitch the shine tack down line, which I don't know what the shine tack down line is. The shine vinyl. They call it the shine vinyl. Was there something special? Like, I looked at that vinyl. It looked completely boring and I don't know. Yeah, it didn't look like anything special. I'm not using it. I'm using my very special vinyl. This is what I'm using. And I'm not even going to tape it down. I will just put it down and then let it start stitching. Hang on a second. Let me just lay it down just like that. Here we go. I mean, this is some shine, right? Okay, gonna go ahead and let it start stitching. I think this stuff is worth getting. You can put it in everything. Every time it calls for clear vinyl, this is what I'm going to use. Whoop. Okay, hang on a second. We are not threaded. Let me go ahead and get threaded again. And you want that complete tack down line. Hang on. I'm going to put my foot up. And that was a little short. So let me go ahead. I want it to go right to the beginning of where that was stitching. So on my screen, I'm just going to go -1, -1, -1, -1, -1, -1, -1, -1. Okay, now I'm going to go +1. And that's the very beginning of this tack down. And now it says, trim the vinyl close as desired. This is a raw edge applique. So I'm going to go ahead and choose my curved straight scissors. Okay, is that like so cool? Yes. Yes, it is. Curved straight. Curved straight is when you really want to control. And I kind of like just to go around the outline of the satin stitch. Curve straight, curve straight. Uh-oh. He's letting the land sharks back in. I'd actually let them out. I know. You're looking at it going, that stuff is so cool. I know. I know, right? It's so cool. Okay, there we go. Taking that to the store tomorrow because I'm going to throw it in some kits. Because now that I used it, I'm like, oh, it's so cool. Okay, and then we're going to change our thread to hickory. And we're going to stitch the skates. Do you love it? I know. I'm sure you're looking at it going, mine's not going to be complete unless I have that vinyl. Okay, let me go ahead and put in my hickory. And that's going to be the last step. It's going to do the skates and the laces. Five minutes of stitching, and then we're done. Okay, would you not be like the coolest person out there if you were wearing these ice skates? You would definitely be the coolest person out there. I'm gonna get hooped up for polar fun, but I'm not gonna be able to stitch it before I go to Din Din. So I'm just gonna get a little bit ready for it. Polar fun, polar fun. Okay, I'm not even gonna get ready for that. I'm gonna go play tug of war with Momo. Okay, just keep stitching. Oh, look at those laces! It looks so cute. I love it. Maybe I can stitch Polar Fun when we get home. Or he's actually called Polar Friend. Polar Friend. And that one is done. Oh, yeah. He looks so good. Is that one so fun? It absolutely is. All right. One left to go, but I am going to go out for dinner. And then when I come home, I'm going to try and stitch out Polar Friend. We'll see you later. Bye, guys.